Yeah. Welcome to another episode of the Views from the Friend Zone podcast. It's your boy Real Talk Marv.
It's the boy Sensei. What's up, people?
It's your boy Cliff Rock now.
Yeah. I've got a special guest in the building. My baby, not so baby brother. You know what I'm saying? We got some good topics to talk about. How was y'all weekend so far, fellas?
Can't complain. The weekend's going good. You know what I mean? Living life, that's all.
Yeah, I was busy this weekend. Happy birthday shout out to my little man MJ. He turned 6 today.
Yeah, shout out to the young king.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Last night we was at the Broner Garcia fight. Wasn't a good look for your boy Broner, you know what I'm saying? Very cocky dude and didn't bring
I heard
the
he
results.
took the L, kid.
It was a consistent L. It was like
From beginning to end?
he won 2 out of maybe 12 rounds. It was bad, but let's get into the topics, right? So our first topic is, can you separate the artist from their actions? Now, we're going to cover a group of different artists, their current dramas that's going on in the media, and it's just like these artists are known artists, they're good artists, but can we continue to support their music and mind our business about their personal actions, or will their personal actions affect how we support them going forward, right? So the first question is, Usher. Usher being a sex symbol on top of being a great singer, does his new allegation of herpes spreading change how you see him? We're going to let the guest speak first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Not really, because his personal life and having sex with different women doesn't have nothing to do with his history of music and stuff, right? He's still a great artist.
He did tell us let it burn. So
listen,
was he trying to give us a heads up?
Yeah, he probably was, but he started the game around 14 years old, and he's been longevity. He has 20 years in the game. He's consistent. More than 20 years, and and then it's like. So, he can win into a situation. There's a lot of people in these kind of situations. The Charlie Sheen kind of thing came out when he decided to do it, so stuff like that happens. I think he went about it the wrong way, though.
Yeah,
he paid Shorty off, right? That's how he went about it?
Yeah, but I'm also hearing people are trying to say that, we attack our black artists, but we let, white artists get away with the same things. But to me, does that even matter?
No,
that Charlie Sheen get away with giving girls the monster?
Charlie Sheen didn't get away with that. He lost a lot of money. He lost his show. He was attacked in plenty of ways. And we don't attack our people that bad.
Black Twitter didn't go crazy about Charlie Sheen. People think that he got away with it.
People be in their bubble. They don't see everything else that's going on. And I know we all still listen to the king, R. Kelly.
Yeah, we're going to get to him.
If you can still sing, if you got the skills and the talent, Usher still can dance. He still sing. Confessions is still that album I go to when I'm going through something, because we was going through it at the same time. But
you know what bothers me? I think we live in a world now where artists, to more make their fans endearing to them, they let them know their whole world, right? So now we're kind of so much in people's world that we care. Like, what does Usher having herpes got to do with me? You know what I'm saying? I'm never gonna try to smash Usher. It doesn't bother me and stuff like that. But it's kind of like, if Usher's your crush, your dream, right? Because a lot of these artists sell that fantasy that, man, you could be with them. Now it's not one, but it's multiple chicks that he's out here burning.
Was it?
Because he got a follow-up to the $1 million that he paid. There's now a $10 million lawsuit coming out.
I mean, let's.
He said after tonight, don't leave your girl around me. He's been dropping jewels that you can't trust. Nah, but go ahead.
But okay, the whole thing about the Usher situation, the reason why I don't go crazy on it is this, right? Magic Johnson, right? He had AIDS since '92. You think Magic wasn't doing stuff?
He technically has HIV.
Okay,
technically never graduated to AIDS.
HIV, right? But you think he wasn't doing situations still
that was
after
before
outside?
social media, so it went crazy, but it would be even worse now. You know what I'm saying?
Magic is being punished. Every time he look at his son, he's being punished.
We're not even gonna go there, right?
That's another topic.
Listen, leave the Magic Man alone. Those girls be out there doing their thing with these stars, these athletes, these entertainers. They have their own agenda too. Like why was he going up and roaring and shit? I don't know. But she was probably trying to get knocked up. She was like, oh, Usher going to get me pregnant. He going to put a bun in the oven. Instead, he put something else in there. You know, so she had an agenda.
I think what makes it even worse is that he hasn't come out and got on top of the situation. We still haven't heard from Usher. We still haven't heard a statement or anything like that.
Because what we dealing right now is all rumors, right? If he goes out publicly and says that he confirms that the rumor is true. If tomorrow I say to my what you call it, I have this disease, whatever, boom. I gotta say it. But once you say it, the rumor is true. It's all rumors right now.
Right. So you think he's trying to let it?
It's gonna die now. Listen, if he comes out with great music and stay consistent, nobody's gonna care about that.
That's true.
Nobody's gonna care about that. He's not in the.
It's always gonna be in the back of your head.
He doesn't put himself in trouble. He doesn't do this. It's just a bunch of people coming out with allegations. That's all it is right now, right?
I think what makes it tough, right? Because I don't care what somebody has and stuff. But if you know he out here dropping off the package to people like that, to me that's what makes it bad. Because it's just like it's not necessarily we care about his lifestyle. It's about like, you know, he's being reckless.
I think even what's worse than that though is wasn't the chick who he spread it to
his wife's ex-wife's bridesmaid.
Yeah. Yo, this dude he was at the wedding. He was at the wedding just like looking at the bridesmaids, probably checking them out.
Look at Chris Brown. His baby mother was Karuchi's friend.
Oh wow.
That he just knocked off, you know what I'm saying?
Really? I never knew that one.
Mm-hmm. So what you call it? So I don't know. Question is, do you think Usher is going to be able to bounce back from this?
Let me tell you something. 100%. If the music is great, nobody's gonna care about that. Trust me. The reason why certain people don't bounce back in certain situations because they don't stay consistent, right? Yeah. If he keep bringing them hits, listen, I don't care what he does personally. If the music is great, R. Kelly ran into a situation. R. Kelly.
Talk about him next.
Okay, so I won't go there right now. But if the music is great and he stay consistent, he's not gonna have no trouble. That's it.
I mean, Usher is the king of rebranding himself, right? Because I felt like Usher was getting a little cold out there. Then he came out with the No Limit song, and now, you know, he's back to like kind of feeling young and fresh. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, that chick can't even be upset. All right, you got chicks out here getting herpes from Joe Blow on the corner. You know what I mean? At least you got it from.
Dudes.
At least you got it from an international superstar.
She should be honored that she got the package from a superstar.
He paid you, right? He had to pay $1 million, something like that. He had to pay. He gonna have to pay a little bit.
My thing now is, if new females come out years later, then I don't feel sorry for them because now it's like it's gonna be
hard to prove. I mean, it's, but yeah, I know they're gonna try.
Listen, let me tell you something. When you dealing with a super celebrity like Usher, you gotta wrap it up, 100%. You got to listen. You could be the bad
female.
Listen,
you gotta wrap it up.
No,
they're trying to get
you
pregnant. Star.
Listen. Just period. You can't put yourself in that kind of situation. A dude like Usher's not a regular Joe Blow. He's messing with different girls. So, okay, you trying to get pregnant or not, but. You know you're taking a big risk when you got to deal with 40, 50 other girls. You know that. So that's your situation.
Think they thinking like that? They ain't thinking like that.
All right, so let's move on to the next artist we're trying to separate from their action, right? R. Kelly being trapped in his crazy-ass closet. Does his action prevent you from enjoying his music? Now, back when he had that he's always had issues, right? He came out with that Step to the Name of Love, and I Believe I Can Fly. Around the time we kind of got confirmation he was a pedophile, and the music was so fly, I felt conflicted. But now he got sex trap houses and shit like that.
Oh, here we go.
The whole Trap in the Closet music saga was introducing us into the mind of how wild this guy's mind.
But listen, he was dealing with Aaliyah when she was 15 years old. Yeah. So don't be surprised if anything that comes out. He probably he got his own taking camp over there. That's what it looks like. He's he got a taking camp, and he's getting permission from their parents and everything. So we can't listen. Camp. And the 18 years old and older, right? Yeah. So it's not like he's dealing with.
He's actually doing better than he was
he
before.
Upgraded.
He's graduated.
You know right? He upgraded.
To me, to be honest with you, it's just too much for me. Like, I really can't enjoy his music the same way. And I know it sounds mad judgmental. It just makes me feel like he's a creep.
Did it affect you listening to Michael Jackson when he was going through that pedophile stuff?
To be honest with you, I kind of took a step away from the music, but when he passed and I started revisiting all of the good music, I kind of said, man, you know.
But what like, listen, I don't agree with R. Kelly's doing, but what really makes him a creep if they're 18 and over? Because it's like this, right? Hold on, let me
sex trap houses.
Listen, I know. Listen.
Let me explain the sex trap house.
Listen.
You can't, if he's around, you can't look at another man. You got to ask permission. You got to ask permission to go certain places. Your clothes have to be a certain kind of way. He's running a sex cult, and he has different campuses. He got the Chicago campus, the LA campus, the Atlanta campus. This guy is an organized creep.
Hey, listen.
You got to take a step and say, you know what?
Hold on. Okay. Listen. There's a lot of camps going around locally, and women are working for nothing. These women are 6-figure salary ladies. Trust me.
We don't know.
There ain't no 6-figure
because
salary
all he's
ladies.
doing is taking care of their personal needs.
Taking care of them. Like, they probably don't want for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because you say, listen, you at the house. Everything's taken care of for you. You know, but they young women. So he's manipulating their minds, yes. Because at 18, 19 years old.
Though. 18
years old. They're not even that young because some of them are not 23, 24. But there's another aspect of it. After they hit a certain age, R. Kelly lets them go. Because it's like you washed up now.
Because listen,
you're 25. I don't need you no more.
Listen, R. Kelly don't like his women seasoned with adobo. He like them fresh and new. So when you get to a certain age, he's not gonna deal with you. Listen, at the end of the day, if he was still dealing with the 15, 16-year-olds, I have a problem. Once you're 18 years old, you got to know what kind of sense of direction you're dealing with a little bit. I'm not blaming the women at all, but it's like, all right, in college, right? When you a senior, right? And the freshmen come in. Her brain. Listen. Hold on. Listen.
You feel weird about that?
Listen. You know how many times in college? You know how many in college? A senior go through. He ran through the whole college, and now this 17-year-old about to come to college, and now he's training too. He's doing a little sex kick. It's similar because you know what is? Her brain is still fresh. She doesn't know what's going on in the college situation. He's the biggest whore in the school, but she didn't get the memo yet.
But
so
see,
now, listen.
Why they look at it with R. Kelly is because R. Kelly's like, what, 50?
Yeah.
But
you know
listen,
what I mean?
the
age difference.
The age difference is definitely a big gap from that, right? But it's like 18 years old. At least I didn't hear no woman that was under 18 yet. So far, I don't agree with it.
No, they're adults.
I don't agree with it.
They're weak-minded adults.
I don't agree with it, and then that's something I wouldn't want to do now that I have a daughter too. So I'm very wary.
Exactly. You guys both have daughters, so that's why I would think y'all would be
very
even more
wary about
out.
certain situations like that. But I mean, listen.
So let me ask you another question that a lot of people have put out there. Hugh Hefner is kind of praised for being the playboy of the century, right? Hugh Hefner's 80-something, 90, and he keeps bringing in the 23-year-olds and stuff like that, and everyone just praises him. I think he's a creep too.
But that shows you the dynamics of certain situations, right?
I mean, of course, we know the media doesn't cover
and he
African
profits off
Americans
of them
the same way.
See,
that they cover
that's
people
pimping
from other cultures.
But you having a Playboy, that's pimping. It's just illegal.
On a higher scale. On a higher scale,
he takes these young women, he puts them in a magazine. Yes, they get paid for showing and selling their body. Listen, but he's making a lot of money.
The Playboy joint is no different from K Slay magazine, but it's just on a higher pedestal, and what you call it, and the media accepts that, but nobody wants to accept a magazine like that. What is he doing? What is he doing with them? They're all naked. What you call it? He has them for years until he's ready to let you go. That's pimp at a high form. That's
taking
it.
Care of them. If they're not up there screaming, "Let me out," this is wrong. He's holding the captive. The one girl, I think she did a video saying, "Oh, she was mad. She was like, I'm not being held against my will."
But they asked her one question, and she said, "I'm not at liberty to discuss that right now." I was like, "Oh boy, that's any equity they gained from the interview is just like you can see." So let me ask you one thing before we leave the R. Kelly portion: Is R. Kelly even still hot out there?
Are you kidding me?
You just had a concert of Roy Wilkins, right?
Listen.
You could don't get it twisted. As an artist, you're always gonna have a niche of followers, right? But what was the last?
It don't even matter. The man is a musical genius, okay?
But when was the last banger?
I don't care. Listen. When you hear classics like Women's Fed Up and all this, and then you go back to he's a music. He is a music genius.
He is.
So we can never listen. Some people get hot over time, and then what you call it? Like R. Kelly, Jay-Z could come out with something and he's always gonna be fired. R. Kelly come out with something, he's always gonna be fired. Certain artists don't got that window. Some people stay consistent all the time and gotta keep flooding music because if they stop, they're finished.
They don't have a catalog.
Certain catalogs like that's gonna last forever. Is R. Kelly, Jay-Z.
Before I move to the last,
even Usher,
and Usher too. Yeah.
Before I move to the last artist I want to discuss, so you're saying, you guys both saying, if you build a strong enough catalog, you could survive.
You can get away with having these camps, all right? And if you conduct them in the right way,
or giving out the monster and all that stuff like that.
I'm not promoting that. I'm not promoting that.
You take it a little far.
Yeah, you went a little.
How did I go a little far?
You could urinate on chicks if that's what y'all into. You know, people into some weird, freaky stuff. That's still the most shocking thing, I think, in his, repertoire, his history. And that girl was underage.
Listen, I'm going to tell you, it was one line, and I think we probably discussed this in the past. It was one line that he said that, it finished it from him when he was being interviewed by Torre. And Torre asked him, so R. Kelly, do you like to date and hang out with teenage women? He said, what do you mean by teenage? That was just creepy, yo.
I mean,
but he was trying to make that. There's 13, there's 14 and 15. Then you have your 18 and 19.
R. Kelly likes his range from 15 to about 35. I think. I think 30 is too old too. Maybe 15 to 26. Let's give it 26.
Let me just say, for the record, I want to be clear here. I'm devil's advocate right now. I don't really support R. Kelly's actions with these young girls. I don't even really like girls under 25 because I think I can't speak to them. You know what I mean?
Even when
it sounds good,
having a conversation with them is like
it's totally two different things, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So their mindset is different.
The last artist who I'd like to approach now, he doesn't have the controversy like the artist we're talking about, but his actions to me makes it really tough to separate from his music. And it's Meek Mill. Is Meek Mill the PR nightmare? Does his opinions on things outside of music prevent him from being great? He always continues to do things that make you say, damn, Meek, take this L. You know what I'm saying? Like, his last, it's not controversy, but the last crazy thing he's saying is just like, people in Miami, everywhere he goes, people follows what he's doing. He brought out wearing certain chains and living the boat lifestyle. And I'm like, that's Miami's culture for the last 30, 40 years.
Listen, let me tell you something. Listen.
Like, can Meek Mill get out of his own way? Can we separate the L's that he continued to take from the music that he makes?
That roast that girl did, I don't know if y'all seen it on Facebook.
Just hilarious.
Because he was wearing those pants.
Boy, she roasted it. But I just feel like...
That was bad.
To be honest with you, I love Meek Mill's music. I think the intros, every intro he puts out on his albums and stuff, just be classic intros. He always kills the intros, you know what I'm saying? But to me, it's just like... It's almost embarrassing watching Meek Mill bury himself continuously.
You got too much expectation. I don't have high expectations for him, so I'm not surprised whenever he embarrasses
himself. You know what? Let me tell you something. What the situation with Meek is this, right? He started from the battle rap. He started with you got to understand, this is a guy who literally had nothing, right? Had nothing. Listen. This is a guy that literally had nothing. He went from looking like he came off the wire, homeless. It's bad in Philly. Yeah. Philly is a different dynamic. You see what I'm saying?
It is a different
My boy used to go to Temple, so I used to go out there and I seen. It ain't like New York. New York, a dude might listen.
Poor New York is better than poor Philly.
Our poor New York is a whole different dynamic than Philly. Philly's selling candy bars in the Chinese store. Shit getting real out over there. When they start selling candy bars in the Chinese store, it's a whole different dynamics, right? So now you tell a guy that that can't even get $20,000 a year and say, here, you a millionaire. Some of us in the room's gonna lose our mind too. We're gonna start. Listen. And then when you got a lot of yes people in your camp, you could never separate yourself. Yep. That's why he's listen. It's too many yes people.
When the boss is feeding everybody, it's hard to say
when you
no
got
to
a lot of yes people, you're gonna sometimes you turn yourself into an official clown because you can't go back to knowing how it's being hungry again because you're not hungry.
Yeah, I just don't understand, like, even the way that he handled the whole Nicki Minaj breakup, right? At first, he used to clown Safari for Safari letting things happen and stuff like that, and then he became a mean girl. To me, he handled it worse than Safari. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's what happens, yo. That's why I think you should take knowledge and info from a chick's ex. Not like talk to them and take everything they say.
Get her whole facts.
I'm just saying,
go through
listen to some of the things that dude might have went through or what they saying, because you're not knowing her if y'all in a new relationship. That you being her representative. You don't really know who you dealing with. You can get an idea. Now he might be bitter, he might be salty, so you can't take everything he say as facts, but you will get an idea of who you dealing with.
He couldn't have used Safari as a reference because he sniped her. He sniped Safari.
The way he went in about that whole thing.
You know what I'm saying?
So he was the snake.
He was the snake.
So he got what was coming to him. He was definitely the snake.
So let me ask you one thing before we move on. Do you think if Meek Mill just promoted his music and just been cool, because Meek Mill, he still makes money, but he's not a grade A superstar rapper. You know what I'm saying?
But he didn't cross over.
Not even. But
that's all.
Listen, what happens is, right, when you start going left field and leave the music, that's when you could do one thing. You could get really hot or you become a clown. And we found out he was a clown. You know what I mean? It's because we found out he was not, I wouldn't say a clown. He's doing clown stuff right now. He went through a 2-year break. He even admitted though that he said
that's why the album's wins and losses.
Listen, he said in the 2 years he was doing a lot of stuff that was not really him. You understand? Out of character. So I think as long as the music is how you stay consistent, you'll be okay. Like, I like Ja Rule to this day. I always felt like to bring Ja Rule in.
Let's be honest. When Ja Rule was going through that storm, everybody kind of took a step away.
Everybody took a step back, right? Because he fell into the trap of letting 50 get him going on. If he can't stay consistent, nobody would have cared. He would have made his money. 50 would have made his money, and he would have kept going. Yeah, like he started working out extra. He
never should have came for Drake.
No.
First of all, just let it be. You hot. You know what I mean? He's hot too. So why you gotta come for him?
And you know what? That's a beautiful segue to our next topic, right? Because our next topic is called spotlight envy, right? You see how sometimes people are eating, they're doing good, but they see someone in the spotlight and they get a little envious. Like, to be honest with you, I think the true reason why Meek came after Drake is spotlight envy, because Drake was that dude. He like, yo, I'm hot too. Why y'all not loving me like Drake? So then he goes and say, oh, he had beef with him because he didn't retweet his album when the album was coming out. And then he found out that Drake has a ghostwriter, so he doesn't respect him.
Well, no, Meek is a very emotional dude. To be such a thug, you mad emotional. Like, he got beef with his own label mate.
Wale.
What's his name? Wale, because he felt Wale didn't shout out his album enough on Twitter and stuff. Like, he's real sensitive.
Like these artists work for you and they're part of your PR team. Where's your dream chaser dudes who should be out there doing this stuff instead of...
He wants everybody. If you say you his man, he wants you 24/7. You got to be, even if you're an artist yourself and you got your own brand.
The problem is, right, a lot of artists have yes people, and they don't have real OGs to sit them down and listen.
Their old heads are clowns.
Their old heads are not clowns. Their old heads has been put in a situation financially. He got to act different now. So it's not about being a clown. Sometimes your old head finances is getting different, so he got to maneuver the way you want him to act. But a real OG don't care about that. A real OG gonna be like, listen, man, You finishing yourself out here. I don't care what's going on.
Yeah.
Whether and then you're gonna respect them for that.
Yeah.
Listen, with money, it's a lot of control and power. See what I'm saying? So what happens with Meek Mill? Everybody in this camp is just waving the flag. You know what I'm saying? And wins and losses. He took a loss with the Drake situation. Just musically,
to me, I'm more bothered by the way he handled the breakup with Nicki Minaj than the Drake thing. Because the Drake thing is just competition. Sometimes you out there competing, you lose. But he's over there, giving gossip advice to her. He
said
enemy.
He never did that on that hot. I'm just saying what he
there
said.
Was a
he
video,
said he never did that, and he said Remy would contest. He never talked about it, but I believe it to be true because the type of person that he is, he probably did tell that to Remy. All that, but the whole like spotlight envy thing, it is somewhat competition. Because of these entertainers, they all want to be on top and all want to be number one. But I think they just got it twisted. Like, the best way to do it is do what you do. If you really believe that the stuff that you putting out is fire and you the best, you don't have to see nobody else.
So let me ask you a question for this topic, right? Have you ever been in a situation where you wanted the spotlight so bad that it made you make a bad decision? I.e., like what I believe Kyrie Irving's doing right now. I mean... nobody want to be a little bit, like we always say this, everybody want to be a boss, nobody want to be a soldier kind of thing.
That's
and Kyrie Irving sees himself like the ultimate alpha male and stuff like that.
That's a
so
fact.
Right now he is demanding a trade, and he even wants to go to places worse than Cleveland as far as success, just because he wants to be that man. So have you ever been in a situation like that?
I think everybody has been in a situation like that. And then the best way to handle, like, see, every day I talk to one of my friends every morning. We talk about different stuff, what you call it. And he's popular when it comes to the women, girls, everything, whatever, right? But the problem is you got to have somebody you listen to and that ground you, right? So sometimes I don't care who you are. We all did clown stuff. Whether it comes to trying to deal with a female, you look back and like, yo, damn, I did some clown shit. I ain't gonna pull that move anymore. But
when I think about it,
we all have done it, right?
Yeah.
But to not do it again is you have to listen to somebody. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes a dude could be 16 years old, and you could be an old head, what you call it. That 16 might, if he pull you to the side and he see what's going on and he's right, you gotta listen to it now because he could be, hold on, young boy was right. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. We all did some stuff where it's like left field, but you got to be willing to accept it, look back on it, and say, you know what, I ain't gonna do it again. I'm good. Yeah, we all did it. Trust me.
I've been more in situations where it's just like I don't think the people envy me being in the spotlight, but people don't want to share that shine. So then people start acting funny over wanting to be, they want to be David Ruffin instead of just a. What is that, the 5 Heartbeats?
Yeah, I'm David Ruffin, and these are the Temptations.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I just don't understand, I guess the wanting to be successful can sometimes cloud your judgment. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever been in a situation where either you envy the spotlight or somebody around you kind of threw a fork in the situation because they wanted to get the shine you was getting?
Yeah, well... I don't know because I'm ignorant to a lot of stuff. Like I really don't pay a lot of attention. It's not a cocky thing neither. It's just I be in my own world. You know what I mean? And as far as doing it because somebody else got the spotlight, I could care less. I'm just
that's why to me it's just like what you eat don't make me crap. What you drink don't make me piss. So you know what I mean. If you shine and you doing your thing, go ahead.
But you know why? You know what? Spotlight envy always takes left field in certain things, whatever. Because people now, right? Instead of getting it yourself, people will spend hours looking at the next man saying, "Yo, he not doing this. He not doing it," and then they realize they have nothing because they spend all their time and energy. Yeah. You spend all your time and energy on this man. Yeah. Where you could have been doing something for yourself and
that
feeling
could be part
good.
of your own grind.
But that's what it all depends what kind of person you are. You got to be willing to separate yourself. When you're willing to separate yourself, good things happen. When you stay following people and doing what you're not gonna move forward because you're spending too much time and energy that ain't.
But I think social media is creating that environment for that. Like,
and I think social media is also making people think their wave is bigger than they are. A lot of people, you know, you deal with people and it's just like, dude, okay, you got 300 likes, my G. How much did that change your bank account?
Yeah.
What deal did that initiate?
We all listen. Let me tell you something. We all love social media, right? So I'm not gonna bash social media, right? If you tell everybody, the average person, listen, for a week, stay off of social media. A lot of people be discombobulated because that's what they live through.
Yeah, you're right.
To me,
listen.
I'm not bashing it.
No, listen.
I can't stay off the internet for a week.
It's,
but if you tell me to stay off social media,
but listen. Spotlight, envy, and social media.
Football season, I could.
Spotlight, envy, and social media. It all plays in, right? When you put too much out there. If you put in family pictures, you proud of certain things, whatever, boom. But if you put in like you really getting it and you have no money, and we know you have no money, what you call it, it's gonna show eventually. Things is gonna come out.
That's the funny thing.
That's
to
the
me.
fake it till you make it.
I
To
like,
me, it's just so
like
whack.
it because it's funny. I'm not even gonna put it on blast. I'ma like it. You got the stack to your ear. You got your whole income tax check, and these dudes is making it rain. I'm like, oh, what day is it? Oh, it's February, Marches. Oh, yeah, that income tax.
Let's see what happened in May.
You know, I'ma like it. Go ahead, player. Do what you do.
So let me ask the next question. The next question is: does competition causes envy?
Does competition what?
Causes envy, like jealousy and.
No, competition is competition. I don't know.
Competition.
Healthy.
Competition is healthy and it's great when it's good. Like I could see. The thing about me is, I don't hate on another dude. I see a lot of dudes doing a lot of powerful drink, and the first thing I'm like, damn, son really got that bag. Like, what
and
I
motivates you.
Yeah, like what I gotta do to just do a little bit of that, whatever.
Yeah.
You gotta be. If it's healthy, competition is cool. But when it's just negative energy, you just need to stay away from it.
No, like for me, what happens to me still to this day, and even in the past, is just like, you know, dudes will be competing for attention with a female. I'm not even on that wave, and then it's just like, yo, why she giving that fat dude love like that? You know what I'm saying? He don't look as good as me. I'm like, dude, I'm not competing with you. I'm not hollering at short. Why do you have that?
But a lot of people that's a personal thing, right? A lot of people are insecure, right?
That's
so
thing.
when you comfortable in yourself, you don't have to worry about dealing with stuff like that, right? Listen, a lot of times, what you call it, if I pull up people's Carfax, some of the clown stuff dudes have done to try to get with a girl, it would be ugly out here. But you just gotta laugh at it and keep it pushing. Because if you fall into that, that's a whole nother dynamics where it could be. So it could get ugly.
Do you think that you can compete at a high level without being envious of the person ahead of you? Some people say envy drives competition. Some people say if you're a true competitor, you envy the person who got it.
I don't think you can necessarily compete and have envy. They can't live in the same space. If I'm competing with you, I'm thinking of ways to surpass you. I'm focusing on what I got to do. So I don't have time to be envious of what you're doing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I might monitor it. I might check in and see, oh, that's what you're doing? Okay. You know, but I'm not going to be envious of it.
What I kind of I think envy is like, you know, the pain leaving your body from the competition. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, you grinding. You know, how many times, like even J. Cole said in the song, he's just like, he has a friend right now who has a buzz, but he's just like, yo, I'm not popping like you. You know what I'm saying? So F this music thing, because, you know, you got to be a certain dude to be popping and stuff like that. You got to be, you know, have a certain lane for people to respect you. But his abilities are good. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know, the envy is a byproduct of weakness, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely 100%. That's 100% facts.
Absolutely.
But, you know.
So the last question on this topic I have is, can you be great and humble, or to be great, do you have to be conceited and cocky?
You want to answer this, Mike? Or you want me
Nah, go ahead. I'll let you go.
You repeat it again so I can...
all right. So, can you be great and humble, or to be great, do you have to be conceited and cocky?
You gotta be cocky. You gotta believe in yourself, right? Let me tell you something.
When you can't be humble and great.
You could be humble at a certain extent when it comes to dealing with people, but you gotta be confident in yourself. If you dealing with women, business or whatever, people want to deal with people who's confident. Nobody. Listen. If you don't have no confidence, women don't want to deal with you. Confidence will go a long way. Trust me.
Yeah,
confidence.
But
confidence.
Those are all C words, right? Conceit, cocky, and confidence.
Conceited
are all 3 C words, but they're different levels.
Confidence is good. You could be confident. You could be confident and humble at the same time too, right? When you were dealing with people, you could be humble. But when you were dealing with certain situations, you got to be confident. When you're going for that job,
I agree with confident, but I'm saying people say that to be great, you have to be conceited and cocky.
No,
like past just confidence. You have to be so enamored with your abilities that you forget any
you
form
don't.
of
You can be
being
grounded and still be successful.
They're confusing the meanings. Yeah. The meanings. You have to be confident.
That's it. 100%.
Have to be confident.
100%. Or whatever you're doing.
Conceited, no, because conceited will lead you down a path that will get you caught up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where people will start to despise you and work against you. You know what I'm saying? Being humble is, you can be humble and confident at the same time. Mm-hmm. You just have to know who you are. And that's the thing. There are some people that are cocky who, because you say cocky, that's a bad thing. It's not always a bad thing. Mm-hmm. If that's who you are and that's how you carry yourself and you're not demeaning anybody else, you see what I'm saying? If I'm just constantly boasting about me and I'm all about me and I believe in me, you know what I mean? If I'm not saying nothing bad about you, what's your problem with me doing that?
It's a beautiful thing you say that, right? Because there's a thin line between a person being cocky and a person being insecure because they're watching someone be so cocky and confident. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you shining makes me feel so insecure about what I'm doing. There may be some
insecurities there, and that might be the reason why a person is so conceited. They got to constantly
remind themselves why they great.
I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. Yeah. You got to keep telling yourself, otherwise you'd be like, oh, maybe I'm not that great. You know what I mean? Yeah. And when they quiet behind the scenes, they might be like that, but being humble is a wonderful trait that not a lot of people have, especially when you have success. Because it's when you succeeding and everybody telling you how great you are, it's hard not to suck that in and be like, yo, I am great. You start to believe your press clippings. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's hard. But a humble person, especially when you're in the spotlight, it takes a lot.
The perfect example for me, and then I'll let you say something before we wrap it up, of like being great, humble, and also kind of cocky is like if you listen to Will Smith's interviews when he talks about his success and stuff, you're like, man, that dude knows like any role he has, he feels he can be the best person to ever do that kind of role. But he's also uplifting at the same time. So many times some people feel everybody got to be lit. Everybody got to be fake lit. Everybody has to be, oh, I'm getting to this bag. Oh, people are envying me because I have this, I have that. But it's just like, who are you lying to yourself to? You know what I'm saying? Like, those people who are fake lit like that, when you cut off the camera
every day we lit,
and you have those issues and stuff like that, can they truly live with themselves? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's when it matters most.
Yeah,
because you're not always in front of people. You're not the
when
light,
you unplug from the matrix that they call social
on,
media. You know what I'm saying?
And you're gonna be by yourself sometimes, and you be wondering what they be thinking, man. That funniest thing is that video. Getting back to the social media, I seen it on IG where he pouring the fake Douce.
The iced tea into the Douce. I didn't even know what you was gonna say, but I knew exactly what you talking about.
That is hilarious because I'm like, it's so many people
gotta see that I'm lit, and the girls in the background like, yo, you fake lit. That's iced tea. He's like, chill. The video's live. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like you said something beautiful. We concentrate so much energy.
Too much.
Lit,
let me tell you something.
But to follow things. The same energy could be used to be becoming great.
You know what? Every New Year, I have a New Year's resolution, and I go through it, whatever. This year, I said to myself, I'm not going to focus on nobody but myself. I don't care what it is. And things been going good for me. Because, not saying I was focusing on other people. I'm not a hater. I've never been a hater. And I always congratulate people. But I decided to focus on myself. I decided to change everything around me. Certain people, the way I think, before I make certain decisions, and that's about growing. Every year you should get better and focus on yourself. When you spend a lot of energy on people, you start realizing, damn, I got the same $3,000 I had 2 years ago. Damn, I got the same car I had 4 years ago. Damn, I'm dealing with the same chick. You know what I mean?
No God. So I think God sometimes also remove these people
exactly.
away from you.
God,
and
but
sometimes
God,
you heard about
listen,
it, but then sometimes you realize like, yo, you needed that.
You go through the storm, and He'll put you in a situation and say, all right, you went through the storm. What's next? What's going on? And I'm not very religious, whatever, but when you focus on yourself and release that energy off or to other people, good things will happen to you. A lot of time people will be like spending. I sometimes I have conversation with people and I'm like, yo, this dude been talking about this man for a good hour.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that 2 things you did this year. Why you keep talking about this man? Yeah. This man is gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trust me. Let go focus on yourself a little some of the time.
Do you have something to say on the topic before we move on?
I said it all, man.
All right, cool. So the last topic of the day is gonna be love versus being in love, right? So there's always that cliche line, I love you, but I'm not in love with you, right? Or, you know, someone's,
that's
I'm
not
so...
a cliche line, bro.
We'll address that, right? Or people are, quote unquote, in love, in relationships, but they're out there, not necessarily cheating for passion, but out there looking for, quote unquote, the love that they feel they don't get at home. You know what I'm saying? Some people confuse that. So the first question is, the first question is,
he means business.
Can you love someone and still be searching for love? So let me put more meat to it. Can you love someone in a relationship way, but still be out there searching for love?
You want to take it?
I
gotta go in. So go ahead.
Listen, say it again, so I can.
Okay. So everyone, you know, he said that you could be in love, but not in love with someone, something like that. Can you, quote unquote, say that you love a person, like I love this person with my heart, but still be searching for a different level of love, or still be out there searching for love?
You know what it is, and it took me a long time to figure it out, and not just playing my situation, whatever. You gotta be willing to say, you know what? Sometimes you are in a situation where you love this person, whatever, but something is missing. That's why you keep searching. Sometimes you're like, I love Shorty, but would Shorty be a good parent? Would Shorty?
So that question make you have the DMX voice? Like,
Shorty be a good parent.
Certain morals and values, it got to play a part of it. So that's a big time situation to deal break with that.
Listen, my thing is, and it's pretty simple. You know, I think people have different definitions and understandings of love and being in love. Okay. Mine may be different, and maybe that's why I put a lot of pressure on myself, and it's why I love people. You know, I've loved multiple women, but to be in love is something totally different, I feel, because I could love you. We could, you know, be together for a while. I love the person you are. I love how you make me feel. I love how I am when I'm with you, all right? But I know for myself, when I'm in love with you, it's on some next level stuff. Like,
that's crazy because you just said 3 different tiers of what it means to be ultimately in love, and then still want more from that.
No, it's not that I want more from that. It's I know myself. Like it was a point I was in love, right, with the one way back when, right, and it was different for me. It was different. Like I wasn't. Like now you could say, oh, you could still be in love with a chick, but you out there, you know, you see something nice, you're going to be like, ooh, I like that. That looks good. Like, I had blinders on, B. Like, I don't even see nobody else. You know what I'm saying? That's all I was thinking about, you know, and it's kind of like crazy, you know, and I don't know if I'll ever get back to that level, but I'm not going to say that's the only level it is to be in love. You can be in love with somebody, but I just feel like you can't just go saying that willy-nilly.
I agree with what you're saying. I also feel like sometimes we're in love with ideals, right? We have certain levels of love at home, but then we're still chasing this ideal love. We're still chasing
soulmate.
The perfection.
Do you believe in soulmates?
I don't believe in soulmates.
Do you believe in soulmate?
No. I've had multiple women tell me that I was their quote-unquote soulmate. and they didn't give two shits about me. But I'm gonna keep it 100. What it was is I represented to them an ideal of love because of certain characteristics that I had, certain ways I talked to them, certain way that I cared for them. But in their eyes, it wasn't enough for me to be the ultimate person that they wound up with. But I was their soulmate. You know what I mean? So soulmate, that shit is, to me, it's a statement that is beautiful. But it's also chasing that ideal. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody...
Yeah, go ahead.
Almost everybody who's married and in love loves that person, but recognizes all the faults in that person and still remain to love them. To me, that is more of an aspect
being in love. When you recognize all the faults in the person and you accept it, right?
You love them. You love them on top. Beside the fact that you know that they're not perfect or you guys aren't perfect, and it also makes you recognize your imperfections and realize, you know what, I love this person, in this complete imperfect person, their faults, everything that their setbacks, and I love them anyway because I want to have that journey with them. That's like what the true love is. Everyone looking for that idea. People be like, oh, shorty cooks, she cleans, she loves me too much and stuff like that. Man, something's missing. What's missing?
You know what it is?
That ideal.
You know what it is? Sometimes it's about important to love somebody. Also, you got to be able to grow with them, right? And sometimes you don't realize that everything could be going good. Sometimes everything's going great. You gotta find something like, yo, this can't be so good because you can't believe that this is really happening. Yeah. But when you accept certain things and you go with that person, you're going to tend to love them more. But if you don't accept it, you're always going to find something, well, yo, she not doing this right. She's not doing that.
So, but you know, I was in social media. I'm in a group called Marriage Club, right? It's different people married.
Marriage Club on social media?
There's so many groups and pages. But
is that a bitter group? Or is
no,
it
not at all. The crazy thing about it is...
Please don't go there.
No. It's mad.
Stay off that.
I'm just asking.
It's one of the. You know how people paint, relationships how they want to. It's one of those groups that paint marriage in such a positive light. Yeah. Everyone's always shouting out their anniversary, showing we've been together 30 years and things like that. But the group had asked a question: describe marriage in one word. Everyone's saying love, that's compassion, stuff like that. And my word was journey. Right? Because it's a trip.
It's a long
trip. Like, the reason why we have divorces so easy, because as soon as the person stops meeting your expectations, all of a sudden, you're back in the market. Even though you're still married, in your mind, you're back in the market looking to get those ideals.
People say the whole 80-20 rule thing. As long as you found your 80 and your spouse or whatever, you're good. You may get that 20 from a side thing or whatever. That's another thing
that sounds
but
good.
80. But let me tell you, it don't even have to be 80. I'm gonna tell you the real thing.
That's what I was gonna say.
I'm gonna tell you the real thing. When you find somebody who gives you that one thing that you need as a man to feel like a man and to feel like that person is your ride or die, it could be something as simple as they support your dreams, even as silly as they may be. You know what I mean? She could be a horrible cook. She could be a little bit lazy or whatever, but if you as a man needed a woman who's going to support your dreams and have your back all the way for that, you overlook all that stuff. You might be a man who need a woman who's going to be submissive. You know what I'm saying? She supports you as far as taking care of the house or whatever, but she don't get too out of line. Or you might need a strong woman who's going to let you know what it is. It's always something different that every man needs for him to say, you know what, I love her. Because everybody has faults. I understand her faults, but this part of what she does, I can't lose it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think that's what it is that will put it from a love to I'm in love with her. You know what I mean? Put you over the edge.
To piggyback what Mike is saying, right? I think it becomes more to say that you love and you're in love with her is different as sacrificing, right? Because when you married, you sacrificing a lot, both parties. You got to do with this person's attitude. You got to do with this person up and down. So it's about sacrificing. If y'all really together to sacrifice certain things that you know bothers the other person in certain situations, it's gonna get better. Like, I'm married. I've been with my wife for 4 years. I've been together.
You just had an anniversary. Right?
Congratulations. Married 3 years, together 10 years. In 10 years, we went from rocky road, up and downs. But I'm old school Haitian, man. I got a lot of demands, right? So
got a lot of demands.
I got a lot of demands, right? But she stuck with me, and honestly, I said the birth of my daughter made me love my wife even more. And the certain sacrifices now, I said, like, you know what? I can't do this no more. Hold on. I can't spend this. I can't do that. That's the sacrifice. When you sacrifice, you learn to grow and love that person more.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's beautiful, and the fact that you said that with the birth of your daughter, like it made you love your wife even more. But if you as a man have a specific way that you want your children to be raised, if your spouse doesn't, I guess live up to that, 100%. They're not teaching them the way you want them to teach, or they're just not the mother that you would expect them to be. That could be a factor that makes you even fall out of love, or just be like, you know what, this is not good. You know what I mean?
To get back to what I was saying with the journey thing about being loved, like, so many people be like, they love the person they're with, but they're still fantasizing about an ex, right? Maybe their high school sweetheart, maybe the quote-unquote one that got away and stuff like that. And I think it's the not having closure a lot of times. Sometimes those situations don't get closed out. So you, in your mind, you build up this fantasy that how this was supposed to be perfect, but things screwed up and stuff like that. So you ignore the love that you currently have, right? So many people saying, I love this person, but I'm still looking for a certain kind of love. And I feel like, dream chasing, right? We're chasing dreams about what we thought love was supposed to be, and not enjoying the journey that we're going through. To be honest with you, not to get too personal in my marriage, but I feel like what made my marriage get stronger, even though there's always still faults, is just like, how we bounced back from certain setbacks, how we loved each other after certain things went down. It's just like, man, she really needed me to be in her corner, and I was there. I kind of really needed her to be in my corner, and I was there. That's the things that we don't romanticize, or we don't. But that's the things we don't give props to about love. We always want to be like, she cooked my food a certain kind of way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? To me, the biggest thing that a woman could do for me, for us to have continued happiness, is for us to laugh. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because there's gonna be this. If you keep it 100, there's women out there that could probably put it down better than the spouse you're with. There's women out there who could probably cook.
Sense of humor is great.
Probably look better than your wife. Probably do something better in life. But if you and your wife could laugh at things that everybody on the outside be like, that's not even funny, but to y'all it's hilarious. Y'all build that bond. That's that journey.
Yo, I just realized something. Like recently, and from what Marv just expressed, like what my need is to be in love with a woman, and I just think back to a text.
You a tough guy, man. Let him finish. You're a tough guy. I know you for a long time. Yeah, man. You're a tough guy.
I'm a hard wall to crack. You know what I'm saying? But I have my reasons for that. But from what Marv just said, it was like it made me think of a text that I got from my girl, a couple weeks ago, and it was like she said, I'm such a dude. I just wanna drink beer, have sex, and watch football. And I was like,
that's a perfect woman.
This woman don't know she almost got me there. I was about to go to the store and buy that ring and listen, because I was just like, yo, I realized, and then people say, oh, your spouse, I used to be against it. They say, oh, your spouse has to be your best friend. Like, I got a lot of best friends. I got a lot of female friends. Some of them I've known for years. Yeah. I consider them my best friend. So I'm like, I can have a relationship with my girl or whatever. She don't necessarily have to be my best friend. She just have to be my friend. But then I started to realize maybe that's what I need. Maybe that's what I want most. I want my spouse to be my best friend. You know what I'm saying? But that's hard because they have to then separate themselves sometimes from your relationship and be that friend.
I want to piggyback off of what you're saying. I think that whole ideal that, I married my best friend, your wife has to be your best friend. it's cool, right? It sounds good, but
good.
You also need a great balance of being with someone that allows you to be who you are separate from them. Allows you to continue to build and blossom as a person outside of them, respecting each other's spaces, respecting each other's
Women
needs.
don't want to do that because they feel like
separate.
if you build and blossom outside of what y'all have, you're going to build and blossom and go somewhere else.
And let me tell you, you wind up in a get out situation, a sunken place, when you decide to make yourself, you and your wife are just best friends, y'all do everything together, and you fake it and force things. Like, you know, my wife would tell me she wants to do something. I said, you know what? That's not me. Ask your girlfriends to do with it, and it's fine. Same thing for me. She'll be like, that's not really my thing. Do you want to do that by yourself? I'm like, sure. And we go out and we live separate lives from each other, and then we share our separate journeys and we get back and discuss. That's a beautiful thing.
You know what? That's to piggyback what you're saying. It's very important, right? But I think a lot of relationships now, right? Ideal, right? And when you're in a relationship, right? If y'all both working people, right? Through the week, y'all not gonna have any conversations, whatever. It's important to have date night and certain things, cause now you gotta play back at all 6 days. That sometimes you go to bed and you don't see your wife. You only see her after you take a shower. You go to bed. And you wake up in the morning, you see her again. So if you don't have that sit down conversation, if you can't be able to hold it,
decompress.
If you can't be able to have a conversation, you gotta have a date night or a certain conversation, because I gotta play back to see what's going on at work. What's going on at home? What are you thinking? Those are important. I think sometimes now it's so we set our things so organized. We don't have these time where we just sit down and say, "What are you thinking? What's going on? How you feeling? Am I doing everything right?" Because sometimes a man be like, "Yo, I pay all the bills. What you call it? I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing that." But no, you didn't even take the time out to say, "You know what? What's going on with you? Is your boss cool? What's going on?" And that's important. We lack that now because our schedule is like certain things we expect.
To piggyback what
expectations.
You're saying, sometimes people think a relationship is good because the obligations are taken care of, but we're not taking care of the person's needs. Obligations, mortgage, laundry, bills need to be paid, food need to be cooked, kids need to be picked up and stuff like that. Those are obligations, but the needs, like you
said,
conversation.
It's very
supporting someone's dreams.
Communication is
allowing that person to build.
Communication is key. Because if you without the communication, you could be doing everything right, and then you find out your woman is sitting on somebody else's lap. Because real talk.
Or,
you know
or
what?
Just,
because you met the obligations.
You met the obligations,
but you didn't meet her needs, her real personal needs.
And then you didn't take the time out to see what's going on with her. You know what I'm saying? And then that same guy, Teddy, who works with her, he's giving her that conversation. No, listen.
Because nobody listens better than a dude who's trying to smash. No one tries to be Denise better than that.
Not even that.
That's a whole nother topic, bro.
Yeah. So, I'm going to, because we're running close to time, so the next question is a complete left field from what we're talking about, but it's still love versus being in love, right? Is polygamy a crime or a moral dilemma? Now, polygamy is when you're allowed to marry multiple.
I mean, it depends, because African culture, right? That's considered 100.
Not all African culture, but
some African cultures is considered a great
That's
great
what they
thing.
do in Utah. That's what the
Utah.
Mormons do, right?
Yeah.
Listen, if you're doing it
Big
right,
love.
if you're taking care
but you
of
know,
everybody,
it's not legal.
Everybody
it's not
agrees
legal
with it.
per se in the country, but they have the sister-wives system where one person is legally married to this person, but they take on multiple wives.
Yeah, the whole legality of it, I don't like it because, first of all, that's the government always got to be involved in everything. I need a license to be married?
Yeah.
Did I take the test? Yeah. What do I need a license for?
But
I love this person. They love
polygamy
me.
is dangerous.
To have a license to have kids.
Polygamy.
See, that's what we should need a license for.
Polygamy is dangerous. The whole situation, polygamy is dangerous. Period.
So, answer the question: do you think it's a crime or just a moral dilemma?
I think it's a moral dilemma. I don't think it's a crime, But it's when you got to deal with more than one person. What you call it? I don't think it's a moral dilemma.
We as men always think about it. Oh, I got this woman here.
It's the
that
lust
woman
of it.
here.
It's the lust
I got
of it.
all this different flavor, but you got to deal with the different headaches, bro.
You got to do different headaches.
A lot of different headaches.
And then you got to deal with Now you bring these two women together, and now they take you out the equation. They don't want you no more. It happens.
Let's keep it real,
right?
Let's keep
so
it real.
Now you emotional about it. Now it could become a crime
Because you
what
were
to do
killer.
with it.
Let's keep it real.
So
A lot of men struggle to be a good husband to one wife.
that's 100%.
Then you take on the burden of being a good husband to multiple wives, multiple family organizations.
But it's
People
different.
think it's just a money thing. It's not just a money
No.
thing.
You know what? That is the best reason and support of what they say about marriage, or like what I say about marriage. I believe is 50% love and then 50% business. Marriage is a business. It's two companies coming together. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what nobody say. And in that type of environment, polygamy is just like, instead of just two companies, now we're going to have multiple companies and we're going to build together. If everybody has the same focus and the same goals and understanding, all the women involved have the same understanding and they on page with the man, you know, because that's usually how it works. I can't see a situation where it's a woman with like 4 dudes, 5 dudes.
But you know what's the funny thing about it is?
We couldn't handle it. Men couldn't handle it.
No, but
No, men couldn't handle it.
No real man can
No
handle
real man
that.
could have a woman
Yeah.
be like, you know what? Steve, you got Tuesday. That's it.
No, but-
we couldn't handle it. We'd be like, hold on, what's going on here?
We're
that
too
makes me
possessive.
think of a funny dynamic of a show called House of Cards,
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
right? So the president's wife is now, she has a side dude who the president knows, and he travels with them. He writes her speeches, and she's sleeping with him. Sometimes he comes into the room. They're laid in the bed together, and he taps her. I need to talk to you. While her side dude is there. He's bisexual, so that adds a whole crazy. But he's not sleeping with the dude. But they've had kind of stuff like that. And to me, it's like, that is insane. But to me, it's just like,
The
can
only
you
way I'm
really say
tolerating
they
that-
really love each other
the
if
only
they
way I'm
have that?
tolerating that is if she's bringing a hefty bag to the table, you know, Oprah, so to speak.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
money always changes the situation.
money
So
changes
you
it,
can be
but
Oprah's
that's why it's a
concubine.
business. That's why it's a business. You see what I'm saying? Because love,
But their
love don't
business
have no
is the
place here.
that show House of Cards. Their business is the presidency.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's kind of funny to hear that you say love is a business, because their business is to run the world.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what
what
I'm
it's
saying?
supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, so the last question that I have, right, because it kind of plays into the polygamy versus, you know, the moral dilemma. Can you be in an open relationship versus outright cheating, right? Because when you cheat, that means someone's going outside of the set situation to you know,
to get satisfied or
to
whatever
get satisfied
it
by any way.
is. Emotionally,
But an open
physically, whatever.
relationship is when it's just like, you know what, as long as you discuss this with me, as long as you take care of, you know, put protection on, don't bring nothing home.
Are we doing it together?
I even meet the person. But open guys always think open relationships is cool till you realize a dude is blowing your wife back out too. It's not just you out there getting your needs met
Open relationships and
versus outright cheating.
I think open relationships is okay if you're in a certain situation, right? And this might sound sexist, whatever, but I feel like certain dudes with celebrity status, if you're LeBron James, LeBron, Obama, certain people,
Will Smith.
Will
That's
Smith.
what they say they have.
So listen, certain people should get that pass of an open relationship. And
One way, though?
No,
You're not
but
saying
there's
both
no
ways?
such thing as a
No.
one-way open
Listen,
relationship.
listen. It could be open relationship both, but listen, in terms of if you have sex with the person, that's something that's between y'all two. You gotta understand how far it goes. Like, cause if you get caught up cheating, what you call it, and you in a situation, things could turn out real bad. But if you explain it to her why, like, listen, this time around I did this, I did that, I'm letting you know what you think about it, and she agrees to it, then I guess it's okay.
But as a man in an open relationship, wifey gets to do the same thing.
Wifey gets to do the same thing to a certain limit. That's something you gotta agree on. What you call it. If you're a man and you okay with that and you can handle that, that's cool. I'm not okay with it. That's why I don't want to be in no relationship. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no man doing this, and vice versa. But if you okay with it,
So let me ask you guys:
it'll save headaches, right?
Do you think there's room for
I
that
don't
in
know about
society? Do you think there's room Because
of course it's
a lot of
room
people
for it.
have open relationships. It's usually though what we, I don't want to be generalizing, but a lot of times there's women out there who are called beards, right? Where women who marry whom they know they're marrying a gay man, they become his wife for a couple of things. One, to have children. Two, to have society think this is a regular person.
Dude living, yeah.
But it's really just to like hide the things
Hide
under
what he
the
really
chin.
is.
Yeah. So, but can we have open relationships where it's just like, dude is just like, yo, do your thing. I just don't want to know about dude and stuff like that. Don't get caught. A lot of dudes always joke around like, you're sure that, yeah, I think you're doing your thing. Just don't let me find dude out and stuff like that. A lot of guys joke about that, but can an open relationship save some of the headaches that cheating cause?
I've seen it done. I know people who do like that, and it's definitely possible, but it takes a certain kind of person.
You got to be real strong.
You can't tell yourself you're going to be good because, I got shorty over here, and we doing our thing. I don't want to let that go, but I want to stay with my girl because I love
fabulous.
her. So I'm going to let her do her thing. You know what I'm saying, too? It's easier said than done. Because once you on the outs or the thing might not work out with the shorty you had on the side, that doesn't stop it. Your girl still has the pass to do whatever she wants. It's still an open relationship. But then you might get in your feelings. So it's like, you got to be just like, so, okay, well, this is what it is. Now, my thing with the open relationship is I feel like you can't really, I guess, no, I'm wrong. I was going to say you can't really love somebody and accept that. But if that's that thing you need, if you need to be in an open relationship and you have a woman who's on board with that, that may bring you closer to her. And you may not be the type of man who says, well, I don't care what dude's doing because I do what I do with her. I know she loves me, and she allows me to do this. So, like I said, it takes a special kind of individual. Not everybody could do it. Not everybody could do it.
I think it's a special individual. I think also it's sacrifice because you might have an open relationship. Everything could be good, but your woman could straight up tell you, you know what? I want to have an open relationship because you don't satisfy me in the bedroom. So I need that part to be. If you
painful.
Listen, that's painful, but that's real talk.
No. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how you can take that and be alright with it.
Let me explain it.
You can have. Hold on. Okay.
Let me explain it first.
I'm gonna let you explain it. I just gotta say one thing. You could have more chemistry with somebody else than the person that you with, but you love that person so much you want to be with them. It may be a chemistry thing. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So she may not be satisfied because your joint ain't big enough or you don't move it right. She just be like, I get off from so and so because we have an amazing chemistry, and you can be like, damn, I got a certain kind of chemistry with such and such. But I can't be with her. I love you. We're great as partners. You know what I mean? But is what you're saying? Is that gonna work? On if both parties doesn't agree to that? No, both parties have to agree.
Both parties have to agree.
We have to wrap it up. So quickly, say the last thing you want to say on the topic before we close out. On open relationship versus outright cheating.
Open relationship works only if both party agrees. And in certain terms and things you gotta be willing to accept both parties. It can't just be one or the other. If it's one or the other, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, that's cheating. What about you?
Don't do it if you are a sucker for love. If you a lover and you like, oh, I love my wife and and I love my man and that's mine. No, bro, don't do it because it's not for you. But it can be done.
I say this before you try to open relationship. Just be friends with benefits. Don't lock it down. Don't wife it up. You know what I'm saying? Because cheating hurts people. Open relationships hurt people. But friends with benefits, you got to play the game. So, thank you guys for another great show.
Yeah.
Do the shout outs real quick before we wrap it up.
Shout out to my family, my friends I care about. Also, shout out to people who are positive vibe, positive energy, and that's it.
Shout out to my birthday boy once again. He turning 6, man. I'm getting old, bro. Shout out to Bacardi Dark. We got to get you in the studio. I'm going to have to kidnap you, man, because you're playing games. Shout out to everybody out there doing positive things, doing big things, showing love to those who deserve to have love shown to them and those who love me. That's it. We out.
I just want to say, thanks for the love, the continued support. Everybody knows that it's difficult for the summertime to be kept up in the room to watch the show, so we could, appreciate the love. Shout out to my little brother for coming through, being a special guest, helping keep things spicy. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say, peace and love, and just enjoy yourself, guys. Continue to support your peoples. And we out.
We out.
That's the view of the week. Peace.